Digipreneur Keron Rose joins us live via the Zoom line to get into another interesting talking point on this Tuesday morning. Today we're going to find career success in the new world of work. And based on some numbers Keron would have sent me, we recognize there is now potential because when we look at the Caribbean holistically, there are so many, about 3.2 million of us that would have left to go out, whether it's to North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, to seek opportunities and employment. So I guess that in itself creates a gap. Of course, it's a problem that we could discuss first and foremost, but tell us, where is the potential for the next generation looking to start their career here at home? Keron, great to see you. Good morning.
Yeah, man, thank you for having me as always. And I mean, that's an important stat to kind of kick things off with, because the Small Island Developing States Conference, SIDS, happened a couple of weeks ago, put on by the UN, and they started to address some of the key problems that are happening within the region, from aging populations to the Caribbean having one of the largest diasporas, and it continues to grow because lack of opportunities. There is a job misalignment, so people are going to school, they're getting the education, they're getting the degrees, but when you're coming out of the universities, the job market is so small, there's a finite amount of opportunities that people have to leave because there's just no jobs relative to your skill sets, your knowledge. So that's creating a major gap. Now, in order for people to really start to find success now, we have to change our mindset with how we view work. And that starts by not just limiting ourselves to local opportunities. What happens is you go to school, you get the degree, and then you're looking around trying to find that job, and then you realize I can't find anything within my space. But that doesn't mean the education has to go to waste. So one of the biggest paradigm shifts that has to happen is, one, regular people need to start looking at what are the in-demand skills that the rest of the world is looking at. Because we tend to go to school for what it was popular here, like petrochemicals, doctors, engineers, lawyers. But how many lawyers does a small country like Trinidad need? How many doctors do we need when we're graduating hundreds of them every single year? We have to start asking ourselves, what are the in-demand skills? And Coursera just dropped a report earlier this week that spoke about the top 50 skills in data science, business, and technology. And these are the skills you want to go and learn because now they make you more attractive to the global opportunities, which then shifts us to where people need to start thinking about. You might not find local opportunities, but when you have the right skills that are globally attractive, now you can start applying to companies and get remote jobs. And even when the companies that are abroad paying a lower salary, that might be a lower salary for their market, but you're going to get jobs that are paying $40,000, $50,000 US dollars, and that works out to close to almost 30,000 TT a month just by working remote and having the right skill sets.
And obviously, you could now, with your skill set, with your education, stay right here at home, live within the Caribbean space, but you work for an international conglomerate or an international entity.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give you a couple of websites that even myself have been looking at jobs. And 3 websites that I've been using is, one, remote.co. The second one is WeWorkRemotely. And the third is FlexJobs. Just last night, I was sitting down with a friend and I was helping her with an application. She applied to a customer service job. She's a lawyer, right? She's a lawyer. And she applied to a customer service job for an international company, and they were paying 40,000 US dollars, and that works out to be more than what she is making as somebody working in legal in one of our utility companies here in Trinidad. The job was paying close to 27,000 TT a month, right? And that's just customer service. So that's that mindset shift that we have to have, because if more of us can start to work remotely and understand that this entire world of work has changed, we could now start to be that resource where external companies outsource the work to, and we can get higher salaries and be a bit more comfortable here in Trinidad and Tobago.
So this particular number, I mean, granted 3.2 million, from what you mentioned, would have left the region in the last, 2 decades, you would have mentioned?
Yeah.
Right? I guess the opportunities that present themselves today were not there years ago. So there is no incentive to stay at home. I mean, granted, there are those who want to fly out. I mean, that's a given.
Problem.
There are
and
those,
you should.
Right, right. But for those who love the Caribbean, they love the Caribbean lifestyle. They don't want to be part of that major rat race. You're literally saying to me, you can stay at home, you can be strategic when you pick your career, pick your studies, and you could align yourself in a way that you could stay right here at home, make top dollar, but yet still work with international personalities and an international brand.
I'm glad you framed it up like that, right? So these opportunities that are happening now, many of them are only happening because of post-pandemic activities. A lot of businesses around the world are realizing, hey, it's costing us a lot of money to hire local talent. It's best we start to now export a lot of these jobs and hire international workers, because that's going to help us save money on, one, the salaries, but then you don't have to pay the benefits packages that you would have to do for if you were hiring local talent. So we can be that resource if we are the ones that are going to be upskilling. You mentioned about the 3.2 million that have migrated in the last 2 decades. What people have to keep in mind is that outside, like Trinidad is the 5th highest population in the Caribbean. After us, no other Caribbean island even hits 1 million people. Everything is like 800,000 and less, down to a few thousand people living on some of these islands. So 3.2 is a significant number. So if you start to look at that Coursera report that has the 30 top in-demand skills, you could start to learn these skills online. And even if you don't want to go that technical and you want to do things like customer service, getting on remote.co, WeWorkRemotely, FlexJobs, and taking some of these jobs, you can stay right here and earn top dollar. And again, what I would always advocate for people, it's always good to get out of your hometown for at least a year. That way you can, build your cultural awareness, build that cultural sensitivity, see how the rest of the world is working, and take that experience and come back into the Caribbean, because we need those perspectives permeating throughout the Caribbean region.
Excellent. What about websites like Fiverr? I know you would have mentioned that some weeks ago. Is that also applicable for this kind of work?
Yeah, so absolutely. So here's the difference, right? If you're going on platforms like Fiverr or Freelancer, chances are you already have the skills, and those platforms are freelancing platforms. So I build websites. I could go on Fiverr and build a profile that says, hey, I build websites, and people who are looking for a website developer around the world can then hire me as a freelancer to build that website. The differences with platforms like remote.co, WeWorkRemotely, and FlexJobs is that those are companies looking for full-time and part-time positions. So you would actually apply and work for those companies because they're specifically wanting international people that they can work remotely. So again, they can pay a bit of a lower salary so that they save money over there. But for us, because of that discrepancy with the currency, getting paid $40,000 would probably make us homeless in the US. But when you're getting $40,000 US a year here, that's like almost 27,000 TT. I think you can live pretty good off of that spread.
That's right. That's right. So again, there is potential, there is hope, and especially for the generation coming up, once the information is readily available, you can now make strategic decisions to forecast and to format your journey in the world of work.
Yes.
Nice.
And even if you're somebody who is looking for a career change, again, maybe you have topped out, because a lot of people who have migrated topped out. They went to school, they've worked at the biggest companies here. There's only so much room to go in a small country, and they've migrated and topped out. So again, even if you're looking for a career change, this is a good thing that you guys can do, because again, it's going to be more money coming in. Even if it's a part-time gig, a lot of these jobs are not full-time. You don't have to be present full-time. Some of them are part-time, and it's task-based, right? There's a lot of data entry jobs that you can take. And again, even if you're making a 20 to 30,000 US per year over there, that's nothing for them. But that's big money here for us. I advise everybody to start looking into it, because the crime isn't going to fix itself. And a big part of that is people are not earning the type of money that they want. So the more you start to learn about these available avenues to generate income for yourselves, it can go a long way.
Finding career success in the new world of work. Keron, thank you so much. Great commentary. I'll give you the final say as we wrap things up. Go right ahead.
Yeah, so let me just repeat the websites. Go check out remote.co. Go check out WeWork Remote as well. and FlexJobs. Go check out those websites. Go apply for these jobs. And again, everything's not going to fix itself. We need to do our part. Go Google Coursera in-demand job skills. Go pick any one of the skills. You can learn these skills online. A lot of the courses start you off for free. Some of them are very affordable, and you could start a new career path. But you got to do your part as well.
Keron Rose, all the best. Thanks so much. Godspeed. We touch base again next week.
Take care. Next week.
That's right. We take a quick pause and we come back. Still to come, Dr. LeBlanc, and later on we touch base with the ambassador of Japan, alongside Angie, soca artist from Japan, promoting soca and Trinidad and Tobago's culture, of course, out there in the Far East. So great conversations ahead. Up next, Dr. LeBlanc. See you soon.